Hi, I'm Carla Cannon, and today I'm going to be sharing with you some of my favorite middle school or middle grade curriculum. So this is, specifically for about that grade 7, grade 8 age range, and of course there's always flexibility with that, but anyways, what's kind of neat about this age group is if you've ever wondered, will my child ever work independently? They will. It happens. And so I just have been having so much fun. My daughter just finished her 8th grade year. And so here are some things that worked really well for us. So as I mentioned, the neat thing about this age is that they just love to work independently. And I really think it's wonderful to encourage that in them because they're just starting to spread their wings. And so one thing that has really helped with that for us for math is the teaching textbooks. We've used it, from the very beginning where it starts at grade 3 and we're continuing with it. Love the program. And so the grade 7 would be the teaching textbook 7, and then grade 8 is the pre-algebra. And like I said, both are excellent, highly recommend them. So that's pretty easy. She does it completely independently at this point. So that's what I love about that. And then for language arts, we have continued with IEW. She started using IEW in about, and that's Institute for Excellence in Writing, if you're new to my videos, and I'm a big fan. So we started that in about 5th grade. And so this year we used one of their newer products, the Canadian history-based writing lessons, and we loved these. This is wonderful. Now, it is assuming that your child has prior experience with IEW, so you can keep that in mind, but this book was incredible. We got through most of it, and then the last few lessons we will continue with into next year, which is perfectly grade appropriate. She did a lovely job on her assignments, so I really prefer quality over quantity, and so we won't necessarily do every lesson in this book, but some of them she just understood the concepts and we moved on. So this was wonderful, and she paired this was kind of the first year she branched out and did her social studies or history more independently than the family. We'd always done that together, and she wanted to do that on her own. So I put together, kind of pieced together, and if there's interest, I can do a separate video on that, but I pieced together using recommendation from Donna Ward from Northwoods Press, her Courage and Conquest, and really I used this as kind of a resource guide for me more than her, and so I got historical literature suggestions, and she read a ton, just a stack of historical fiction, and you just learn so much from it. So we combined, like I said, that with her writing for each time era. She had her IEW lesson that she did, and then I used this to find novels for her to read that went with that time period. And then also we have this entire series, it's called Discovering Canada, and this was perfect for her age group. Now, like I said, I think there's about 10 books in this series, and we have them all. We didn't necessarily read all of them cover to cover by any means, but the Donna Ward book gave, select pages to read in these for each time era. And it was an easy read for this age grade. Age group. I wouldn't necessarily read it to a, younger kid. Like I wouldn't read this to my 7-year-old by any means, but nice amount of information, and she loves reading, she loves history. So for us, that was a beautiful combination. So that took care of social studies, history, and language arts with her writing projects. And then she also completed Fix It Grammar, the second book. We loved the first Fix It Grammar book, and The second one was fine. We liked it through most of it, and then by the end it was getting a little tricky, and so I don't think we'll continue with Fix It Grammar next year. I think I'm pretty happy with where we got with book 2, and we'll probably switch up grammar next year. So, but love the IEW, the writing assignments. And then I have her keep a monthly journal just to do kind of a less structured type of writing. And so I will print out a picture of something, kind of a highlight from that month. It doesn't have to be huge. And she will just write, a few pages about that. And we just do that about once a month. And it's turned into a really special keepsake because she's been working on this for a couple years. So that was kind of a little bit more unstructured writing. And then the other thing that she does is she keeps a kind of in line with Sarah Mackenzie's recommendation and how she sets that up. She does a reading journal. So for every book that she reads, she will just write, just a short summary about it. And then I think there's a couple books on that one. So she has a little summary, and then she picks a quote from every book she's read. And it has just become this beautiful, not every book she's read ever, but for the last several years anyways. And it's this beautiful keepsake of quotes that are meaningful to her, and she shares them with me. And so, like I said, just another kind of approach to a different type of writing, but this has been excellent. So that is some of the ways, we've approached writing. And then the last piece of the puzzle, and I've already packed it away, so I won't share it with you, but I do have a review on Spelling UC, and she completed level F. We didn't do, all the levels have 2 books, and she just did one of the 2. That was more than enough with the other writing that she does, but that was just good for, I think copy work is still important at this age, and just for spelling and good punctuation and all that, she gets a lot out of that. So she completed that book as well. The other thing that she did that we really liked was the Apologia, their science program. It's their Young Explorers series. Once again, I have a review on this separately. It's perfect for these middle school age range. She loves them. Totally enjoys this. There's a ton of information, and so she learns lots. And I buy the audio CD that comes with it. She is an excellent reader. That is not a concern, but there are scientific terms in here. And so when she listens to it and reads it, I feel like she's getting comprehension from both angles, and she's hearing the proper pronunciation of words that she probably wouldn't have known otherwise, just because they're a scientific term. So love this. We also get the notebook that comes with it, and then we'll pick one activity from the notebook for each chapter. So if to do the full notebook would be too much writing with everything else she does, but we just pick one thing from the science notebook chapter. And so, she's made mini books. She'll do summaries. This was on marsupials. She did a little summary. She did on primates, kind of a classification chart. So we really like that. Once again, she likes that she can do it independently. For her Bible this year, she had done some little devotionals that I'd gotten her, and then it was working really well that she would just go through, and I could go through with her we have iPads for our kids, so then on the Bible app, they have tons and tons of devotionals, and she's just really enjoyed picking one of those and going through that, so she does that on her iPad. And then the other thing that she does on her iPad that was new this year is Duolingo. I bought her, you can do it for free, but she was being so consistent with it that I went ahead and bought the year's subscription, and there's some added features to it that way. And I'm so proud of her. I in days gone by spoke some Spanish, and so she's been doing that independently on Duolingo, and I think she's at like a 200 and some day streak right now where she hasn't missed a day, so she's been really motivated with that. So that's been great. And then kind of the last thing is she can type. So she's got, the proper form down for that, but she's just continuing to work on some speed and accuracy. And so we've just continued with Typing Club. It's free online, and just to, continue to make that a little bit faster for her. So there are some of the things that we've used that worked really well for us. This has been such a fun age, and all the time and the help and support, in her learning that I put in the earlier years it's paid off, and she's just blossoming, and it's so fun to see her become more independent and wanting to take more responsibility for her work. So it's just been a really neat transition as she grows older. So I just encourage you, if you still have little ones, it will come. They will become independent. You won't have to sit with them for everything forever. Of course, she still needs some instruction, but it is just a fun season of life. So I will part with those words. Bye-bye.